storm. We're going to look at the data. Inside that data, again, we can look at velocity. We can also look at the hail indicator. We'll look at the hail indicator, see if anything's starting to show up. Right now, not much showing up. There's the indication. Again, this goes back in time a little bit. So again, we do have indication of possibly large hail with this storm. So again, something that we're watching fairly closely. This tracks up more towards the north here, but you can see indication of what could be at least some larger size hail moving into northern Cass County. So Marcellus Highway towards the Valonia area, Marcellus would have the possibility of seeing some hail. Now, this isn't necessarily an alert for everyone, but this is a very intense storm producing a lot of lightning. This is a very intense lightning show. Just give you an estimate of how much lightning maybe even be happening in the last 15 to 20 minutes. I'll create a box right here, and this is going to sample anything inside this box, 344, an estimate of cloud-to-ground radar strike, cloud-to-ground lightning strikes within the past 20 to 30 minutes. This is a pretty intense storm that can really produce some strong wind, again, towards the Marcellus area. So that's our top concern as we look right now. I do want to move back. We'll take a look at the alerts right now. Severe thunderstorm watch for our northern counties, and here's that severe thunderstorm warning. Also a tornado warning storm back towards the Chicago area. We'll go back in. I want to zoom back into this storm right now. This is near and north of Cassopolis, again, near the Marcellus area. I believe we have the First Warning Neighborhood Mobile Weather Tracker. If we can get some video of that. We're moving towards some dark skies right now. So again, this is what it looks like on radar. And next to me is what it looks like in real life. This is a nasty looking storm on radar, and we'll probably have a good punch of wind. Look at the edge of that storm. Again, you can see a very sharp edge, and what is likely underneath it, a rain shaft. That's the gray coming down, if not a hail shaft. That is likely as well. So again, you're seeing what it looks like on radar, and you're seeing what it looks like in real time as we advance towards this storm in the mobile weather tracker. Dave Caulfield on board there. So again, keeping track of that storm, intense storm. Now for up towards the lake, there's more rain coming onshore. So here's St. Joe Benton Harbor. You can see the rain coming onshore there. This is not a severe thunderstorm. I believe we have this shot as well up on the bluff. Waiting for that one, but again, St. Joe Benton Harbor, a non-severe thunderstorm. It's dark out there, don't get me wrong. We could have some really intense rainfall. And as this comes on shore, this could still intensify. So that's why we have our eyes to the sky looking out over Lake Michigan right now. And here's what it looks like on radar. Currently not a severe thunderstorm warning, but if we start seeing these trees move around a little bit, we're hopefully going to be the first ones to warn you because we're going to see the weather as it happens, which could trigger more warnings downstream. So again, we have our eyes out there tonight on the northern fringe of our area. Quite a few lightning strikes. Right now, Dave is moving somewhere in the mobile weather tracker from Dowagiac towards this area, likely on Marcellus Highway right now. Very large number of lightning strikes that we're currently seeing. So if you're just watching right now, breaking into programming because of what we're seeing. Marcellus Highway is most likely where Dave is on, moving towards the Valonia area. A lot of lightning strikes. We have meteorologist Dave Caulfield on the line right now. Dave, can you hear me?
Okay, right here. I want you to
giving directions to our driver. He's in the passenger seat. So again, evolving situation, a lot of lightning strikes up there. So Dave, just getting into position right now. What road are you on? It looks like you may be headed towards the Valonia area possibly. There's going to be a lot of lightning with this storm and possibly hail. There's a report of mothball-sized hail near Watervliet, and so you're headed towards that area. I know you're in communication with our team. Dave, can you hear us? He's still trying to get things set right now. So again, he is trying to get things organized right here. Again, but we have Dave in the car. We saw the view out in front of the car. Moving situation, moving through cell towers and trying to keep that connection back here at the station. We've got you covered though. Again, right here near Valonia in northern Cass County. This is, again, a nasty looking storm. Likely some intense hail in here. And I want to go back to our hail tracker as we continue to look at this as well. Likely some large hail that could be moving in. So that's something that we could be moving into. Again, keeping our eye on that. As you see the red on our scale here, getting up to what could be kind of a larger scale spectrum here. Typically, this kind of edges towards maybe the above side of things, but we know we already had a report of up to mothball size hail. Again, This is now moving through the Valonia area, at least right now. We'll go back to the lightning view. And again, this is a very intense storm right now. We're going for a quick closer scan. I want to get a little bit closer here into the Valonia area along Marcellus Highway, Dutch Settlement Street, where the most intense returns here are on the radar. Let's go back to ABC 57, first warning neighborhood meteorologist Dave Caulfield in the mobile weather tracker. Dave, can you give me an update on where you are right now?
Yeah, so Tom, I am right outside of Vandalia Township, in between Cassopolis and Vandalia on M60 here. I want to show you what we are seeing. Some very intense cloud features that I'm looking at. Looks to be a shelf cloud that is moving very rapidly towards me, and a lot of lightning showing up with this as well. And you can see as we were traveling to the east, trying to get ahead of this system, just how fast this is moving. And we're seeing a few strikes of cloud-to-cloud lightning right now. And also the wind is starting to pick up as well, with some nearby trees really starting to blow. And the rain looks to be pretty intense. I am not seeing any hail shafts that would usually show up as sort of streaks of white in this storm. I'm keeping my eye out for that. But at this time, I'm just seeing some really intense lightning start to make its way in as that shelf cloud really closes in on us. We're actually going to end up moving because that wind is really starting to pick up. So for now, live in Cass County, meteorologist Dave Caulfield with ABC 57 News.
Thanks for giving me that update, Dave. And yes, the wind is a serious threat. The Weather Service updating the warning for this storm to be considerable, with wind up to 70 miles per hour. So again, this is Valonia, Marcellus Highway, Waikiki Township. It would be the next really spot that we're watching fairly closely here. So if we're breaking into programming right now because we've kind of triggered that threshold of a warning up to 70 miles per hour is definitely a critical type situation. So Dutch Settlement Street north of Newburgh. So Newburgh north. So this is going to be moving into St. Joseph County, Michigan. So Howardsville, anything along M40. If you live along N40, Newburgh north to Marcellus, inside, away from windows, considerable threat here with wind gusts possibly up to 70 miles per hour. A lot of lightning, very intense storm, probably the most intense storm that we currently see on the radar. We're going to go out for the bigger view right now, kind of give you a heads up of what else is going on. Severe thunderstorm watch for most of the area. What we've been watching fairly closely is the development of storms that are going to likely cut from the northwest towards the south and east. There's a bit of a gap, though. There's a storm that bears watching back near Chicago. That's diving south and east. And then there's kind of this complex of weather that's coming in up along the lakeshore. So I do want to go into that one as well. This is not warned. This actually may be somewhat of a saving grace if it does not spark storms. Think of it as dominoes. This one falls, then pops up another storm downstream. This may actually lessen a severe threat for some areas, but likely some very heavy rainfall. We continue with our live coverage tonight up along the lakeshore. You can see here the view of St. Joe and how dark it is. ABC 57's Jordan Hatfield up there right now. Jordan, what do you see right now?
Yeah, Tom, it just started raining about 2 minutes ago, and you couldn't tell, but just before, it seems like the pizza restaurant down there, Silver Beach Pizza, just lost power. It's been flickering on and off. Right now, you can see in the distance there, I'm behind the camera, so I'll just zoom in just a little bit. You can see people trying to leave Silver Beach now that the rain has picked up. There were a lot of lightning strikes earlier. I haven't seen any recently, but so far, well, you can kind of, there you go, speak of the devil. So, yeah, situation is, yeah, it's pretty rainy, pretty stormy right here. We'll keep out here. You can hear thunder. But anyway, back to you, Tom.
On the microphone. I really appreciate that update from Jordan, because it's not just what we are seeing, it's what we aren't seeing. Seeing severe weather or not seeing severe weather, because we're kind of on storm watch. What is developing, what is not? We did not see trees blowing around in that picture. Yeah, we had some lightning, we had some thunder, but as far as a major severe threat, we're not quite seeing that. So that is good news. As I turn the lightning on here, still a good number of lightning strikes. In fact, let me go back here, and I'm glad people are getting inside, taking cover. Jordan, I know he'll be doing the same thing, as all these lightning strikes are going to be coming on shore here. We see just in this cluster over 200 such cloud to ground or cloud to water lightning strikes that have been happening over the past 20 to 30 minutes. So that is a good thunderstorm, but it's not a severe thunderstorm just yet. So that is at least the good news with that portion. But we continue to watch what is a considerable threat for now the Newburgh area. So I'm here on ABC 57, first warning live to off the radar. And what we're looking at here is velocity. So this is going inside the storm. And when you start to see these brighter returns into the Newburgh area around Williamsville, that is an intense notification of the strength of the storm, with a wind speed up to possibly 60 or even 70 miles per hour. So again, that is our considerable threat right in here, sampling up to 74 miles per hour wind gusts. So that's Penn Township in Cass County, Michigan, the Newburgh area along M40. Right here, very strong wind. Now this sampling, this is a good distance from the radar. This is not at the surface, but if you have an estimated wind speed here at around 74, I think 60 plus is very likely, but this storm is warned for up to 70 mile per hour with a considerable risk. So this is the area right now, now moving towards Fabius, so that's into St. Joseph County, Michigan. We're watching our Michigan counties right now. If you're just tuning in, watching severe weather, at least at this time. Strong wind across northern Cass County, northeastern Cass County, Newburgh, Williamsville, the Fabius area, that's in St. Joseph County in Michigan, right along M40. Dealing with something like this inside, away from windows, know where your trees are, because this can knock down trees. You want to be away from the side of the house that would have that greatest tree threat. The wind would be blowing from the northwest. A strong northwest wind is likely with this storm. Let's go back in, and again, let's take a closer look here. Looking at lightning, again, very intense radar return here that we're currently seeing, again, around the Newburgh area. Anything in purple and anything kind of along this portion of the line. Severe weather from Newburgh towards the Fabius area. Right along this line is where that greatest severe threat is, at least right now. We'll go out for a little wider scan, kind of give you an update. It's not everywhere. Not everywhere here that we actually have that severe threat. Again, this is the warning. It's from Marcellus to Three Rivers, where the strongest wind is. We might see this warning spread to drop down towards the Porter area and White Pigeon. And heads up, if you're in Shipshewana or Middlebury, again, some of this may be clipping down into portions of LaGrange County and into Elkhart County. So I kind of want everybody on standby, at least right now, for that threat of severe weather. This is kind of the one bullseye we have on the radar right now with that lightning, with that severe weather. So this is the most severe cell that, again, we continue to track. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is in the mobile weather tracker. We're trying to get him back online, but as you can imagine, it's a little bit tough considering that we're trying to get into those cell returns. He's on a delay, and he's going through and close to a thunderstorm, which can lessen then that signal from the backpack. And so what we have now is an expansion of that warning, the expansion of the severe thunderstorm warning, now for all of eastern Cass County and all of St. Joseph County in Michigan for this cell right here, warned up to about 70 miles per hour. Radar indicated the damage threat is still considerable for a wind threat up to 70 miles per hour. Up to 70 miles per hour. So again, that is still a major concern, at least right now, that we're continuing to watch. That is what we're watching very closely, at least at this moment. Still watching this very closely, at least as far as a severe thunderstorm warning. Still a number of lightning strikes, wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. Again, you can see the intensification here, the number of lightning strikes, at least right now. Here's the rest of that warning. We kind of pan up towards the north. Where we're not seeing severe weather at this moment is across northern Berrien County. So that storm kind of clipped through here. We're not seeing much development here. In general, this is a good sign that a majority of the area may not see the most of the severe weather that we have. So here's the current map update. Severe thunderstorm watch in pink saying conditions are possible for storms to rapidly intensify. This is where the warnings are, now encompassing all of St. Joseph County, Michigan, and the eastern portion of Cass County. If you're not in the orange, you're not in the threat right now. But I will say, LaGrange County, you're on standby. LaGrange County be on standby. This may clip into your area, and the threat is considerable, up to 70 miles per hour. That is the storm threat. There's a tornado warning storm back into the Chicagoland area. We'll see how this tracks out. And we kind of have, I talked about this earlier during our 90 minutes of news, that 7-10 split where we've got some severe weather here, we've got some severe weather here, and then what's going to happen in between here? And right now, the answer is not much, but that could still change because all it takes is for these systems to kind of kick on shore, and it can cause other storms to develop. So that's what we're watching again very closely right now. As we look into here, anything highlighted in that bright blue is a wind estimate from the radar in excess of 70 miles per hour. So that is the considerable threat here from Marcellus towards Newburgh, again towards the White Pigeon area, and towards Three Rivers. So that's a spot, at least right now, that we are watching for the severe threat, the strong wind from the Newburgh area towards White Pigeon, towards Three Rivers, likely within the next 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to get an updated storm track on this once I read the skits on this warning, again, which has expanded for the area. So I'll switch back to the lightning, and you can see here's this warning, expanded warning, that includes the White Pigeon area until 8:30 this evening. So that goes until 8:30. This storm is currently moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. 45 miles per hour here. That's where the storm threat is, and the updated storm track, which I can give you here in just a second as I update the storm track. This is moving southeast and would be moving in this general direction. So Sturgis area, around 8:34. So moving into the Sturgis area by around 8:34 this evening. That's the updated storm track on that. I may update this to a squall track. Give me 1 second here. We'll expand this out because it's all of this that has that wind potential. And again, that drops down even to the Shipshewana area by 8:36. So if you're in Three Rivers, if you're in Constantine, White Pigeon, Sherman, Sturgis, Shipshewana, so now we're including even LaGrange County in Indiana in the possibility of this storm threat for up to 70 mile per hour wind. Confirmed reports here, meteorologist Dave Caulfield saying multiple trees down and golf ball size hail that went through Decatur. That's where my finger is behind this box. That's the storm that moved through here. So Dave's on the back side of the storm, which is luckily the safer side. We don't want him out in front of this storm. That would be generally a dangerous position. But again, following in the aftermath of this is where we have the strongest wind potential. Three Rivers, Constantine, Shipshewana, Sturgis. You're on standby right now for a wind threat up to 70 miles per hour. And we have confirmed reports from meteorologist Dave Caulfield, who's in the Decatur area right now, where he says trees are down and golf ball size hail fell. Let's kind of go over everything. There's Decatur right there. This is where meteorologist Dave Caulfield is. We'll see if we can get him back on the line here fairly soon. Evolving situation. Again, trying to get our cell signal service up there can be somewhat difficult. But again, this is where we're watching right now. The most severe portion of the storm, that purple core right there, that's the hail core. Marcellus down to Newburgh. Heads up White Pigeon, Three Rivers, and Porter. Looks like we're kind of in between a radar scan here. And so you see a little bit of a jump here in that radar data. I do want to go back. Again, we'll look at our data. We'll look at our hail signature, the hail estimates. Again, still estimating. This is a snapshot just a little bit in the past, but still estimated right along that line, Newburgh to Marcellus, what would be large hail. And we have the confirmation up to golf ball size hail that is likely falling in that red zone there. That's now falling in the Newburgh area and Marcellus. And multiple trees down, which verifies those wind gusts likely topping 65 to 70 miles per hour. So severe weather happening right now. St. Joseph County, Michigan. Get inside, away from windows, strong wind from the northwest that can likely down trees. So if you have trees on your property, you don't want to be on that side of the house. Keep all that in mind. That's what this severe thunderstorm warning means. We go back to the lightning, everything that shows us where this gust front is now. And again, the strongest of this right now is now crossing into St. Joseph County, Michigan. So this is through White Pigeon, through Three Rivers right now is where we're seeing the strongest part of this storm. Going for a closer scan here. Here's the area in purple over Fabius where likely that hail's falling. Constantine, you're about to see the strong wind, and eventually White Pigeon. So Three Rivers, you're kind of on the edge of this, but this is a bowing line right through here. So we're going to switch over to the velocity, and we'll get a better look at this. Take a look at the velocity, and you'll see that is really standing out right here. So Fabius towards Constantine. People in the back, again, if we're kind of coordinating things, if we're moving Dave or other people around, the Constantine area or White Pigeon area will probably be the area of concern next. So confirming damage from about Fabius to Constantine to White Pigeon. Strong wind coming in right now. This area in blue indicating wind speed in excess of 70 miles per hour. That's why we have this warning, and that's why we're breaking into programming. There's different kinds of severe thunderstorm warnings, but once you start seeing a considerable threat with wind in excess of 70, this is estimating up to 80 miles per hour. Now, this is not at the surface, but if you have a wind estimate here of 79 at elevation of the radar scan, fairly good confidence, especially if we're already now getting reports of trees down, that this is strong wind, close to 70 mile per hour wind that's moving with this storm from Fabius towards Constantine and down towards White Pigeon. So that's what we're watching very closely right now. Severe thunderstorm warning still active. We'll go out a little bit wider. What we're not seeing is severe weather over Berrien County. Good number of lightning strikes, but that is not severe weather. So let's go out and reset our situation here. 8:16. Severe thunderstorm watch in pink. We've kind of been on standby throughout this evening for those dominoes to fall. What would trigger the strongest storm? And it's really this area right here. We've not seen anything to kind of make those other dominoes fall towards severe weather. Still a warned storm back towards Chicago, but we go towards the big picture right now. This storm, its progression is somewhat interesting. They continue with the tornado warning there, but we've not seen a lot of movement with that. This round of rain over Berrien County, you may be watching right now. Why are we breaking into programming? This is not severe weather there. It's for this warned area over St. Joseph County in Michigan that is our greatest concern on the radar. What I can tell you is that we have meteorologist Dave Caulfield just went through the Decatur area where this storm was, confirmed trees down and golf ball size hail on the ground. And now this is where the threat is from Newburgh now towards the White Pigeon area. So again, he was here, and now we're seeing again quite a bit of lightning, and this is the most intense part of the storm. Good news is we're starting to lose possibly a little bit of that hail core that was so intense, but we still have likely some strong wind right now. So this is Newburgh, Three Rivers, now White Pigeon. White Pigeon, the wind is about to pick up where you are. You may lose power. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. And I still want a heads up for people downstream here. White Pigeon, Shipshewana, Sturgis, even LaGrange could be kicked up by this. So again, this is still moving through. This is still the most intense storm that we have currently on the radar picture. So still watching severe weather, a tornado warning storm back towards the Chicagoland area. And then we have this severe thunderstorm kind of on our northeast edge, warned up to 70 miles per hour. So again, a situation that we're watching very closely, very important that you stand by to see what else develops, even as this complex continues to move downstream. So watching everything very closely tonight, but we're zoomed in here on the radar from the White Pigeon area, Sturgis, Middlebury, and Shipshewana. No other indication from the Weather Service about an expansion of that warning, but definitely some reports here. So St. Joseph County Minute Train Spotter, wind gusts of 73 miles per hour. So spotter reporting a 73 mile per hour wind gust in St. Joseph County, Michigan. No update on, near Clear Lake. So near the Clear Lake area, which is going in for a little closer look here on the map. So that was near the Newburgh area. So that report coming right in here of a 73 mile per hour wind gust. Severe thunderstorm warning, Boeing line of thunderstorms, likely 70 mile per hour wind working into the White Pigeon area right now. This is the most severe portion on the radar. This can easily knock out power and knock down trees. Dangerous storm, White Pigeon. Heads up, White Pigeon and Sturgis just downstream. Sturgis, you have a little bit more of a lead time, but I can go back here and give you a storm track on, again, what we're watching very closely, at least this evening, and for the next at least 15 minutes or so. So we're closed in the White Pigeon area, likely seeing some wind gusts up to or close to 70 miles per hour, and likely seeing an expansion of this warning fairly soon. But it's right through here on this course. So I'm giving people downstream ahead of this a heads up with this storm track. If you're in White Pigeon, momentarily strong gust of wind. Sherman in St. Joseph County, Michigan, Sturgis, and of course LaGrange, even the Shipshewana area. Everyone on standby. LaGrange by 8:43, so we're at 8:20 right now. Strong wind is going to be cutting through our north and east of Michiana. Many of us may be saying, well, what are you talking about? We're not seeing any storms at all, but we're breaking in because this is where the most intense storm is on the radar. This whole cell started near Milwaukee this evening around 5 o'clock, made it across Lake Michigan, and this is what it has developed into. And it's likely growing into a greater complex of storms that, again, might be a very close miss for Michiana, but this is going to be the start of an evolution of some much stronger storms that develop into a line and move away from us. But this bears watching very closely. The White Pigeon area towards Sturgis, LaGrange, and the Sherman area. So now LaGrange County, Indiana state line on standby for wind that has been confirmed up to 73 miles per hour, thanks to a spotter that's near the Newburgh area. So again, if you're in any of these areas or anywhere close on the map here, if you live in LaGrange County, if you live near the White Pigeon area, if you live near Sturgis, that's where we're seeing, again, intense radar, lots of lightning, and confirmed wind gusts up to 73 miles per hour. Still getting a lot of new information. Looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning is being issued right now for portions of Elkhart County and LaGrange County. So as predicted, we're going to see an update on that map. There's a new warning coming in right now as this area kind of expands. So a new warning coming in. This goes until 9 p.m. New warning goes until 9 p.m. for Elkhart County and LaGrange County. Now, if you're watching right now, I'd be more on alert in LaGrange County than Elkhart County. Still looking at the information, max wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour with this storm. So this is a serious storm that we're watching very, very closely, at least right now. I'm going to go back. I'm going to start resetting some of this as far as the views go. I'm still interested in the intense wind on the front side of this storm as this goes down towards the Shipshewana and Middlebury area. It's looking less intense right now. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. But again, we have a history, and depending on how this moves towards or away from the radar, again, continue to watch this all very, very closely. Just updating my views here on the radar picture as we'll continue to zoom into this area on the radar. Watching here very closely. I'm checking all my Twitter streams and everything else about what's coming in. Again, new warnings continue to come in, but a new severe thunderstorm warning for LaGrange County, and Elkhart County. That's the latest information. There's a new warning there. This really is the most dangerous storm. This here over Berrien County is not severe. yet, but will it continue to push southward? Remember, I'm talking about those dominoes and how they evolve. I would just want to go back and give you an hour loop here and just watch how this all plays out, just kind of all moving in here. I'll go back and give you one more loop through. Watch how that loops through there. And we're just kind of watching how all these storms interact with each other, if they get more or less severe. We have that storm towards Chicago. How will that interact as it now cuts across Lake Michigan, then on to land again? That may be a concern for some of our other counties, including LaPorte County. So we're not done here. This isn't necessarily widespread, but this is the area on the radar of strong wind, bright green through here. Middlebury heads up, Shipshewana heads up. You may not get a direct blow from this, but strong wind may be coming out of this thunderstorm towards Middlebury, towards Shipshewana, has just moved into White Pigeon. This is now along the state line. We've had confirmed reports in excess of 70-mile-per-hour wind and wind damage from around the Decatur, Michigan area to the Newburgh area, and now it's arriving through White Pigeon. So we've broken into programming as soon as we saw that damaging wind threat cross into Cass County and now through St. Joseph County in Michigan. We continue, again, warning you downstream Middlebury, Shipshewana, as this continues to move southward at about 50 miles per hour. The storm itself is moving at 50 miles per hour. The wind coming out of the storm up to 70 miles per hour, and that wind can be ahead of this storm front. So even where you're seeing on radar, the wind right now is probably now starting to cross the toll road through here. That can also be problematic and something that we should keep track of in the back. If we have any toll road issues, wind gusts topping 70 miles per hour is not a very good combination for high-profile vehicles. So that can also be an issue on the toll road. Somewhere between the Bristol exit and the LaGrange exit would be my concern for the next 15 minutes or so. And then you're going to have heavy rain on top of that. So that's a problem spot on the toll road. If you know anybody traveling, this is a spot where I would pull off to the side, find that toll plaza, exit, and just not proceed. This is a kind of a dangerous situation, especially if you have that wind that could top 70 miles per hour crossing the toll road right now. That's the latest with this storm. Big picture here. Severe thunderstorm warning, including eastern Elkhart County. If you're watching in Goshen, you're probably saying, well, why am I under a severe thunderstorm warning? We're seeing how much that wind spreads out from the storm. LaGrange County, the brunt of this. Elkhart County, you're kind of on a satellite of that wind that can kind of spread out and still be concerning. Everyone else, pink means severe thunderstorm watch. We're kind of watching for other storms to develop. The area in yellow and red, tornado watch with a tornado warning for portions of Cook County back near the Chicago area. And we're kind of keeping an eye on that storm too. How is this going to develop and evolve? I continue to give the analogy. This is kind of like watching dominoes. You have all set up. Is it going to evenly fan out across the area? We have non-severe weather right now across our north, but this is where we have the strongest of storms now moving through the St. Joseph County area towards Bristol, Middlebury, Shipshewana, where we have the strongest wind. So this is what it looks like currently on the radar right now. I want to back out for a minute before we send it over to meteorologist Dave Caulfield. I'm going to add what we call our local storm reports and see if this pops up. There's the wind report that we have right here. So that was near the Three Rivers area, near Fabius, a wind report of 73 miles per hour. So definitely some confirmed wind damage there as this continues to work its way towards the south and east. We'll look at the lightning picture here. Again, very intense storm that's now moving its way into LaGrange and Elkhart County. The strongest wind likely Shipshewana towards LaGrange. I want to go back with our team coverage, though, to ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Meteorologist Dave Caulfield. We have at least on the line in the mobile weather tracker. And he said he confirmed some wind damage and hail damage in the Decatur area, and he's currently making its way now southward towards the Bristol area and towards the state line. Dave, are you on the line?
Yeah, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear and see you,
Hey
Dave.
guys, can you hear me?
We have you, Dave.
All right, so sorry, it's been an intense 20 minutes or so as we make our way into the Mottville area as we get ready to head south towards Bristol. We've been sort of under the gun of this thing for the past 20 minutes or so, moving southward on M40. So from Jones south, and now we're about to head into Mottville, and that drive was treacherous to say the least. A heavy, intense rainfall, lots of tree damage. We were going so slowly because of the intensity of the rainfall, which has lessened up at this point, just based on how fast this complex is moving. But intense rainfall and tree damage all over the roads. Multiple times we saw large trees down, but most of the damage that we saw was just some tree branches in the road. But obviously over that, and with the intensity of the rain and some periods of hail, we just couldn't. And you couple that with the
All right. Dave, again, I appreciate the report. You're in motion right now. Again, this is an evolving situation. Something else I want to point out to people is now we've had expansion of this tornado warning back for Gary up to Valparaiso. So that's another concerning thing that we're watching, because you can see the direction of this warning towards portions of southern LaPorte County. I've been watching mostly our northern Indiana version of this, but again, we've seen multiple areas of rotation here and a re-up of this warning time after time from the Chicago Weather Service office. So I just want to point you out that we're on standby now if you're in LaPorte County for a possible tornado warning as we head towards 9 o'clock. That's another factor we're watching fairly closely. Right now, Dave's kind of running on the heels of this. That is showing less of a return here from White Pigeon towards Shipshewana. And again, not as intense as we've seen before. I'm listening in the back, my producer in my ear. Gotcha. And for those of you watching for the NBA Finals, we're going to continue over this, but not until tip-off. If severe weather persists, we're going to switch over to the CW25, keeping you updated on that of what's going on right now. We're on ABC 57 right now. I've been talking and make sure we're trying to get our live stream up as well, and then we'll switch over to the CW25. Here's the latest severe thunderstorm warning for potential wind up to 70 miles per hour. We've had confirmed wind reports of 70 miles per hour. If you're in Middlebury, Shipshewana, and LaGrange, or even, again, towards northern portions of LaGrange County, the Howe area, inside, away from windows, away from the side of your house with trees, especially on the northwest side of your house. That's where the wind's advancing from. This is still a Boeing line of thunderstorms right here, so it's still very much concerning. Shipshewana, towards LaGrange, towards the Lima area. Number of lightning strikes has decreased a little bit. So if we're looking at just kind of a bellwether, is this storm getting stronger or weaker? It may actually be getting weaker. So again, if you live in the Shipshewana area, if you live in the LaGrange area, live in the Howe area, let us know. What are you seeing? Here's our current weather situation, though. We do have a complex of severe weather across the east, and we have that tornado warning